So, I dropped this mango dye recently, but mango dye is a 1 in 10 mil drop from breaking a log in the park, which means I was doing that, which means I was foraging. So why would I be foraging? I recently saw a forum post about someone named Haunt getting foraging 50, and they also said it was pretty chill. That got me thinking, is foraging actually terrible? The Skyblock community generally says it sucks, but I didn't let that stop me, so naturally I had to obtain a max foraging setup and find out for myself. I believe I have the max foraging setup, which contains young dragon armor, a tree capitator, a rod for rod stopping, an aspect of the void with ether transmission, a legendary monkey pet, a legendary ocelot pet, and some auto pet rules. The method I tested for foraging is dark oak in the park. The way it works is that I'll start with my monkey out and break a tree, which summons my ocelot. Then I'll switch to my rod and cast it when the tree cap finishes breaking blocks, which will summon my monkey again. I believe this is the best method for foraging in the park, but maybe there's some secret foraging tech I don't know about yet. I got about 375,000 foraging XP in 30 minutes, which means I get 750,000 XP an hour. I probably could have gotten more since at one point there were people in the lobby, but I'd say other people being in the same lobby a bit is normal. This XP is actually not too bad considering foraging only goes up to level 50, meaning from level 1 to 50, foraging would take only about 73 hours at this rate. I also got a whole 212,000 coins during this test, meaning I would get 424,000 coins an hour. This is kind of terrible, so I definitely wouldn't do foraging for the money, at least if you decide to do it at all. So what's the point of this video? It was never really about the test, I mostly just wanted to talk about how I feel about foraging. Doing this test made me realize that foraging is actually very chill, in a way that's similar to mining, or at least armadillo mining. Armadillo mining is similar to foraging since they're both just a pattern of throwing your rod, clicking once, and moving around. I would say armadillo takes more work, but of course it also makes a lot of money, so people have reasons beyond enjoyment to do it. Foraging has no setup time, making it way more chill than mining, where you'll usually have to set up a spot unless you're doing dwarf and mithril. The actual process of foraging doesn't require your full attention, meaning you can do something else, like watch a show on a second monitor or phone, which I usually also do while mining. This makes them very similar to me, and it also makes me think foraging is actually a pretty decent skill. I also wanted to compare foraging to farming, since that's a skill that requires almost no attention, and I think it's generally more liked than foraging. I think farming sucks, and I say this as someone who's built every farm and manually got farming 50. Farming requires you to use so little brain power, but to me it sucks because I'm forced to sit in my chair and watch stuff for hours on end, and a lot of the time I don't want to do that, but unless you like looking at the sugarcane, you don't have very many options. We can compare this Hypixel system of semi-AFKing to old school RuneScape, another game I have quite a few hours on. I did a lot of AFKing in that game, and I think RuneScape does semi-AFKing correctly. I don't have amazing stats, but all these skills I did semi-AFK, and by semi-AFK, I really mean I was literally playing League of Legends, some other game, or I was doing my homework. This is a system of semi-AFKing you can't get in Hypixel, and I think it's way better. I think the amount of attention you pay to a game should be a scale. At the bottom is RuneScape AFKing, where you might as well not even be playing, and at the top is actually playing the game while paying full attention. To me, mining and foraging fall into a level of not AFK, but chill enough to watch something, whereas farming falls into a level of I'm basically paying no attention, but one of my hands is permanently glued to my keyboard, and I greatly dislike this. Obviously foraging is still flawed, but also might actually be a liked skill. The obvious issues are a lack of progression and a lack of profit. The profit isn't something you can do much about, unless the admins make a good item sync for wood, but we could definitely use some foraging progression. Currently, you can use the best setup at foraging level 1, and honestly there's not much point in foraging before you have the best setup, since most people would only do it for the skill average. What does all this mean for an average player? Probably not much, because it's not like Skyblock is going to become RuneScape. But what we can learn from this is that foraging is actually a decent skill that's way better than farming and is about as chill as mining. This doesn't mean it's amazing, but I have started doing it when I don't have time for a decent mining session. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. It's okay.